on perseverance and deliver to the surface and deploy it, and for Jen and her team who supported this historic first flight. Congratulations to everybody. This was really a all hands on deck effort. It involved Aeronautics Research Mission Directorate, the Space Technology Mission Directorate, the Science Mission Directorate. It involved JPL, of course, but also the Ames Research Center and the Langley Research Center. It was really a unique, somewhat unique integration of our aeronautics research talent and capabilities and our space system development capability that really was able to accomplish this amazing flight very early this morning. I feel like I've followed along with the team while I was at Langley and then at headquarters in Space Tech and then in the associate administrator role. I think a trip to JPL about once every year, and they'd always take me over to Mimi's lab, the Mars helicopter lab, and Mimi would tell me what they've accomplished and all the challenges they've had and what they've had to overcome. And her just excitement and enthusiasm for making this happen was infectious. I think her leadership, along with the talent of the team, made me believe that they could do it, and they did. So again, congratulations. Many challenges, including having to complete
다른 행성에서 최초의 동력비어 제어 비행을 축하합니다. 영상을 공개할 것 같으니까
so they could achieve, lift using rotary blades in a very thin atmosphere. And then, of course, they had another late challenge with having to do a software change and update and do that with a helicopter 180 million miles from Earth. So just an amazing job. This really is a Wright brothers moment. It's the start of a whole new kind of planetary exploration. And we'll build on Ingenuity's success.
제가 아는 한에서 좀 설명해 드릴게요. 아는 한에서 아는 한에서 설명해 드리겠습니다. 지금 국장 대행인데요. 아마 그 영상을 추가로 공개할 것 같은데.
Ingenuity was a technology demonstration, an experimental mission, but its success is truly remarkable, and it gives us this new capability. I believe, along with Mike and Thomas, that we should be doing these types of technology demonstrations on all our
참고로 1903년 12월 17일 그 미 노스캐롤라이나 키티호크에서 있었던 인류 최초의 동력 비행은요. 플라이어 이러잖아요. 12초요, 12초.
Many organizations and you came up with this dream.
이번에 요이즈는 다른 행성에서 기계의 첫 비행이 역사적 성공을 축하한다고 했습니다. 그래서 새로운 유형의 우주 탐험의 시작이라고 이야기를 하고 있습니다.
Just incredible, and congratulations again. You all really personify the motto of dare mighty things and embody our nation's spirit of persevering even in the most challenging situation. And you are providing inspiration and advancing science and exploration for not only the United States, but for the world. So congratulations again. And with that, I'd like to hand it over to Mike Watkins.
Okay, thank you, Steve. It has been a great day here at JPL, and we're very proud that we are continuing to be at the forefront
JPL 그
of doing
디렉터
many things in planetary
PH의 소장
exploration.
같습니다.
And I wanted to build on something that you noted.
안녕하세요. 심야에 오신 걸 환영합니다. 아는 한테 설명을
And in many
해드릴게요.
ways, it is a perfect example of how we need to be doing technology and how we need to develop technology. And the brilliant engineers, some of whom you'll see in the orange shirts, came up with the idea for Ingenuity, for a Mars helicopter before we had a name Ingenuity, over 7 years ago. and there was a push from technology. But it wasn't quite clear at that time, was it really the right instrument, was it really the right thing, a helicopter, to put on the Perseverance rover? And so we did what we felt was right, which was we stuck to it. And we kept working on the Mars helicopter. We kept overcoming technological hurdles, and we kept showing why it would be valuable as a scientific instrument in the future. And a combination of rugged support from JPL in terms of technology development, as well as NASA headquarters, and an exceptional team that overcame all the technological challenges one by one until it became obvious that the right thing to do was to put it on Perseverance and fly it to Mars.
반갑습니다. 제가 아는 하나 설명을 해드리도록 하겠습니다.
That's the kind of partnership that kind of pushes technology and pull us
혹시 이야기가 안 들리시면 이야기해 주세요.
And actually, we're working on several other missions that have technology components, much like Ingenuity, but going to other parts of the solar system as well. Now, our brilliant team has overcome a number of challenges. And for those of you that remember back in 1997, we had a mission called Mars Pathfinder, and it had effectively a technology demo called the Sojourner rover. And that freed us up from being in the place we stuck the landing to being able to drive around. And now of course, those rovers have become Curiosity and our latest Perseverance, capable of driving tens of miles on the surface and going to the best places for scientific discovery. Well, what the Ingenuity team has done is given us the third dimension. They've freed us from the surface now forever in planetary exploration, so that we can now make a combination, of course, of driving on the surface and sampling the surface, and doing reconnaissance and even scientific experimentation on inaccessible places for a rover. And I think this is exactly the way we build the future, and I think you'll hear a lot more about the scientific promise of rotorcraft on Mars as part of and other planets as part of the Science Mission Directorate portfolio. And to talk about the importance of Ingenuity and some of the future, I'd like to turn over to my colleague, Dr. Thomas Zurbuchen, who is the Associate Administrator for the Science Mission Directorate.
아마 전체적으로 브리핑을 한번 할 것 같은데요.
Thanks so much, Mike. And I just want to tell you, as I'm starting here, I'm just so proud to be up here next to Mimi, and especially that team here also on the monitor. And I just want to tell you on behalf of all of us at NASA Science how proud we are of you and how we recognize.
저분이 아까 그 사회 보시면 인제뉴어티 프로젝트는 헬리콥터를 화성으로 날리는 것이 자 이게 분명할 때가 진행됐고요. 작은 탐사선 소노저라고 1997년에 보냈죠. 이건 더 큰 탐사선 큐리오시티, 오퍼튜니티, 스피릿, 큐리오시티에 이어졌잖아요. 그래서 이제 인제뉴이티로 이제 비행을 성공했다라고 얘기하고 있네요. 아마 여기서 아마 좀 추가 영상이 공개될 것 같은 느낌이 들어서 오늘 하는 겁니다.
Crazy idea that was being developed, and this team put that idea into reality. The most important thing that takes, of course, is hope. It's the hope that that is actually possible to come together with with everything this team has, with the personal education, with the commitment to success, and with learning from each other until it actually works. So for me, what I want to point to is the first picture here, and I want to just tell you, this picture means two things for me.
지금 보이네요.
On the one hand, I recognize that this picture was taken from the Van Seal Overlook, and my friend Jacob is no longer with me. I see in this picture because I know that he was an important part of making this helicopter. The second thing that is important in this picture is what you don't know right now as you look at it. It's actually the after flight picture, and so it landed.
지금 아마 여러분 그 지금 인제뉴어티 지금 화면이 보실 거죠? 보이시죠?
And so for me again, what I see in this is now not only this amazing little machine, but the team that actually achieved that, and it relates this to a story that's 117 years apart and 173 million miles apart. A story that
크레이지 앤 이노베이티브의 중간 단계다.
They were about 10 years old. It's a rubber band with a little rotor. It's a little toy that never got out of their mind. They became bicycle mechanics, and they started working on this. And actually,
아, 이게 비행의 사진이군요. 아까 비행의 사진입니다. 아까 나왔던 게 비행의 사진이고.
So when we look at the previous picture that I just showed, I want to just tell you that in homage of this amazing achievement, we have designated, and please pull up the next picture.
아, 이거를 이거를 만들었던 분이 제이콥 반 질이라는 분인데 이분은 우리 학교에 있지 않다. 이분이랑 작고를 하신 것 같아요. 네, 작년에 돌아가셨군요, 이분이.
Go forward, actually, that connection has already been made, and we talk about it. I have here in front of me a little sample of the flyer. Actually, the actual
미친것과 혁신적인 그 사이에 올바른 선을 찾기 어렵고 우리 종족이 틀렸습니다. 하지만 팀이 옳았고 그들의 아이디어는 현실화되었습니다. 가장 중요한 것은 희망이라고 이야기를 하고 있습니다.
In the next movie, I show how this piece that is missing was actually included on this flyer, and this morning made history together with it. So for me, Mimi team, Ingenuity team, you know, history connecting those two amazing stories together has been made this morning. And why don't you tell us more, Mimi Young, about it?
Okay, thank you, Thomas. Well, our team has been working over 6 years, some even longer, towards that dream of experimenting the first ever flight at Mars, and this morning our dream came true. If we can play this video, this is taken from Perseverance rover, video of our dream, just beautiful.
아, 지금 영상으로 지금 인제뉴어티 지금 비행하는 영상이 보이는데 와 아주 네 올라갔고요. 호버링 와 완벽하네요. 지금 보시는 거 그 실제 그 영상입니다. 더 선명하게 보이네요. 야 이렇게 해서 다시 내려왔습니다. 와 완벽하죠.
When things work, it looks easy. I would like to take this opportunity to remind how difficult it is to fly a rotorcraft at Mars. First and foremost, because the atmosphere there is so thin, right? About 1% compared to that at Earth. That's like on Earth being elevation 3 times the height of Himalayas. So the air is very thin.
아, 천천히 오는 거구나 이게.
Really light, small, and has to be able to fly in the thin atmosphere and survive on its own. We did all of that under 4 ponds. So Bob Belram will be talking more of that, but I did want to remind that. Well, this morning was an incredible moment.
이건 정말 쉬워 보이지만 정말 어려웠다고 이야기를 하고 있고요.
It was around 3:30 a.m. this morning, but it sure didn't feel like early in the morning.
총 감독 하신 분 같은데요.
Very normal middle of the day, extraordinarily exciting.
아 지금 당시 그 최종 확인됐다 상신. 아 나.
Ingenuity's reporting having performed spin-up, takeoff, climb, hover, descent, landing,
touchdown,
and spin down.
당시 그 최종 비행 확인.
Unforgettable day. And you know, it's all about the team to start with. Really, you know, our team across JPL,
네, 지금 화성 대기가 히말라야 공기만 가득하고 하는 것을 보시고요.
Qualcomm, Solero, Lockheed, others. We were a team. I mean, just a strong team. And during this morning downlink, I did say that we had many friends who contributed to our success. Okay, and including Perseverance rover team and many, many others. And some of them are far away now, and again, as Thomas mentioned, Jacob Vinciel, I'm sure you were watching our first flight from the Jacob Overlook. So we're thinking about you, David. I'm thinking about you, Jacob. So with that, this early morning flight, what it means for our mission success. Mars Helicopter Ingenuity Technology Demonstration Project has 3 goals in line with NASA's agency level objectives. So the first is to show
높이가 3m고 연착륙
on
속도가
Earth that it is possible to
1m/s이고요.
fly power control flight at Mars. We
아,
did that
진짜 아주
before
엄청나게.
we were launched. And then the second goal was to actually fly at Mars. We have done it. This is the first time I've been able to
네,
say we've done
아직도
it.
다 한 번도
And the
환호를 하려고 하고
third
있죠.
goal is to get data back that will inform engineers that are going to design, that are designing future generations of Mars helicopters. And we have done that too, and we're going to continue. So beyond this first flight, over the next coming days, we have up to 4 flights planned, and increasingly difficult flights, challenging flights, and we are going to continually push all the way to the limit of this rotorcraft. We really want to push the rotorcraft flights to the limit and really learn and get information back from that. So with that, I'd like to hand over to Bob Belleram, our chief engineer and really the innovator of our original design for Mars helicopter. Over to you, Bob.
Thank you, Mimi. First, I'd like to just take a moment to thank all of
밥,
you for being on this journey with me.
발라.
There's been many a technical conversation, many a late night, many a test, and I want to thank all of you who have been part of that, and your families and your loved ones who have helped, get us to this point. Ingenuity itself is extremely healthy at this point. In fact, she's even healthier than she was before this flight. She shook off some of her dust that had been covering her solar panel and is in fact producing even more solar energy than before.
지금 아까 책임자였던 미미 엉이 어떻게 얘기냐면요, 최대 4번에 더 추가 비행이 계획되어 있다고 하고 있고요. 정보를 다시 얻고 이제 1개까지 밀어붙일 것이라고 이야기를 하고 있습니다. 그래서 4번 더 추가 비행을 할 것이다라고 이야기를 하고 있습니다.
What all she can teach us over the next few weeks as we explore aerial mobility on Mars. And with that, Howard, if you can tell us about exactly what happened during this flight, that would be great. Thank you.
Yeah, this flight was all about proving that it is possible to fly on Mars. So to that end, what we had instructed
그래서 관람이 어떻게 했냐,
climb to altitude of 3 meters.
그 인제뉴어티는 먼지를 털어내고 비행 전보다 더 건강했다. 그래서 모든 것이 더 잘 작동했고 항공 전자공학은 완벽하게 작동했으며 앞으로 몇 주 동안 이제 인제뉴어티가 우리에게 무엇을 가르쳐 줄 수 있는지를 기대가 된다라고 이야기를 하고 있습니다. 그래서 태양 전지판 모듈을 털어냈기 때문에 인제뉴어티의 상태가 더 안정적이다라고 이야기를 하고 있어요.
When we were looking at the downlink data this morning, one of the first things, or one of the most important things that we were looking for was this plot that you can see, which is a plot of the altimeter. That was really our first indication, or real proof, I should say, that yeah, we really did.
네, 지금 비행 데이터 지금 보이고 있죠. 그래서 0도 여기가 지표면에서 올라가서.
During the flight itself, Ingenuity was telling us all along what it was doing. And so what we were able to do with that data is we could take that data and reconstruct the flight and create an animation out of it. So what we're going to see here is such a reconstruction where we've taken that engineering data and
네, 지금 보시면은 지금 그 3D 이미지를 보여주고 있는데요. 지금 저 정도의 지금 거리에서 지금 촬영을 했죠. 재복원해가지고 지금 3D 프린터로 3D 모델링으로.
This is the initial hover, and then a turn. And then hover again for 20 more seconds.
네, 지금 보고 난 장면을 보고 있는데요.
And then the landing.
랜딩.
And just the tiniest little bounce that you can see there on the landing. And that is also completely expected.
기대했던 것보다 더 완벽하게 이제
I
착륙했다.
think we have a video as well from the rover that we looked at before, that we're going to see again. And this again, shows us the same thing. This time with real images from the vantage point of the rover.
제가 볼 땐 지금 제가 지금 보이는 게 아마 지금 최대 지금 세상도인 것 같습니다, 지금.
How it gets buffeted a little bit by the wind and how it very gently makes its way back and lands safely where it needs to be.
네, 지금 보이는 게.
And what's exciting about this is a flight that we've done hundreds, if not 1,000 times before, but always in simulation. It's always been on a computer. And to see it now finally happen on Mars and happen exactly the way that we imagine it is just a really incredible feeling. Now, while it was flying, it has to keep track of where it is. And the way that it does that, in part, look at the flight in a different way of the ground below it, 30 images per second, and analyzing those in order to understand how it's moving. Those images are primarily there exactly for that purpose, not necessarily there to be looked at, but it turns out, we grabbed a few of those images and downlinked them to Earth this morning, and it turns out they're absolutely stunning in what they show. What we see here is Ingenuity taking a picture of its own shadow right below it. And I think this is just a stunning image, notwithstanding the fact that it's, a low-resolution black and white photograph. We have another image from the same camera.
거의 시뮬레이션에서 비행한 것만큼 완벽하게 비행을 했다라고 이야기를 하고 있고요. 헬리콥터의 경로 어떤 재구성을 통해서 보여주면서 기계가 바람에 조금 부딪혔지만 안전하게 착륙했다. 그래서 우리가 이전에 거의 1000번을 이제 비행 시험 비행을 했지만은 시뮬레이션 비행한 건데 완벽하게 비행을 했다라고 이야기를 하고 있습니다.
Did not seem to be an issue in terms of obscuring the navigation camera close to the ground. In the next few days, we expect to perform further flights, and we also expect to get color images down from the helicopter. Now, one more thing that I want to mention here is that the International Civil Aviation Organization has assigned us a 3-letter designator for Ingenuity, IGY, India Golf Yankee, with the call sign Ingenuity. And those details will be officially included in the next edition of ICAO's designators.
여기를 라이트 형제 필드라고 이름 붙여놨네요.
Authorities and services. And the location of the flight was assigned an ICAO location designator, JZRO, or Jezero Crater, where the NASA Mars operation took place. And of course, these designators come in handy when we go to write in our logbook. This is something that should be very familiar to any pilot out there. We always want to log our flights so we don't forget.
원보드 카메라로 지금
And so for that
인제뉴어티의 지금 그림자까지
I
붙이는데요.
have this logbook with me. It says the nominal pilot's logbook for planets and moons, because we're always thinking ahead here at NASA. So with that, I'd like to talk to Justin, who will talk more about the imaging.
Okay, thank you, Havard. I'm Justin Mackey. I'm the Perseverance rover imaging scientist and also the deputy PI of NASCAM Z. And I'm here just really happy to be here to share with you the results of our imaging over the last few hours on Mars. There's sort of two cameras that we're talking about. The video camera is the NASCAM Z camera, which is a science camera that PI is Jim Bell at Arizona State University and his team over there, and it was built by Malin Space Science Systems down in San Diego. Mike Kaplinger, Mike Revine with the hardware group built an excellent piece of hardware for us. Nelson Jensen running the ops team down there, and Kim Saxton here at JPL as our instrument engineer. And a whole team of people made this happen, so I just wanted to thank all of them for getting us to this point.
진짜
And
이런
then
거
the
다
other
만드네요.
camera,
이게.
I'll show some pictures from the ECAM system, the navigation camera.